Good evening. In this video, we will see how to update SPD stock. Okay, so this will be done through spare parts module, right? So click on spare parts. Now there are two things. The first thing is how to update your existing SPD stock. That is how to update your old spare part stock in DMS. Okay, so for that, what you need to do, you need to click on SPD price list, and this is basically your part master, wherein you have to select the part number and update the opening stock. Okay, so for example, let's say you have this part, okay, motor wire assembly, right? So you have a stock of 5 quantity, right? You need to update it. So how will you update it? You just click on the view of that part. In stock detail, you see here in stock detail there is a opening stock field. Here you just update the stock in hand quantity, that is 5. Enter the item location. Item location means where you have kept this particular part. Okay, so in store department there might be some racks wherein you keep those parts, right? So you enter that location, otherwise enter any of the character like ABC, XYZ, because it is mandatory field. You need to enter it, right? So once you enter item location, you just save it, right? So if you see here, this is the stock in hand column, and the stock got updated by 5. So this is how you have to update your existing stock, right? Part by part you will have to update it. Okay, so before creating job card, make sure that your SPD inventory has been updated in the DMS. Right now, we will see how to update your new stock. See, you will place the order to Okinawa for your SPD. Once those SPD stock will reach to you physically, you will need to you will need to update those items in your stock, right? So how will we do it? Let's say it will be again done through this spare module only. So click on spare module. Here is SPD stock update. So for new stock which you received from Okinawa, to update the part of those stock, you need to click on SPD stock update. Now in SPD stock update there are two options, one is entry and one is view. So entry is to enter the new stock, and view is to see the existing purchase which you have done so far. Those purchases you want to see, so there you need to click on view in that case. But if you want to enter new stock in DMS, it will be done through this entry. So just click on this entry. Now here you see OEM invoice number and OEM invoice date is mandatory field. So this is basically your supplier invoice number, which you the invoice which you get from Okinawa, right? So there will be invoice number. So that invoice number you need to enter here. Okay, enter a correct invoice date. Now in SPD stock update, get invoice data will not work. Okay, this option is not live yet. So once it goes live, we will send you a communication. But for time being, what you need to do, you need to enter your SPD stock manually. Like enter invoice number, enter invoice date. After that, in SPD information, you need to select the item. For example, let's say this is the part you received. Okay, you received 2 quantities of this part. So enter the quantity to keep order number blank. No need to enter anything in order number. Just after selecting the part, keep enter the quantity which you received. Then Unit rate comes automatically. If unit rate is correct as per your invoice, then you don't need to enter anything. But for example, if you purchase the part in 320 rupees, for example, so this is enterable field. You can enter the rate which is in your purchase invoice. So unit rate is basically your per quantity rate. Okay, so quantity into unit rate becomes your amount, right? So whenever you update your stock, whenever you update your part amount, you just check if this amount is equal to the amount in your invoice or not for this particular part. Okay, so once amount comes, then just click on this OK. So once you click on this OK button, it will get updated below. See, it got updated below. Likewise, you just add the you just select the item number, enter the quantity. Now for example, you received only one part of this quantity, and the unit rate is also the same as per your invoice, right? So don't go ahead and click on this OK button directly. If you notice here, amount is not coming, right? So you just click on one of this field, either click on quantity or click on unit rate, then only amount will come. So amount should come here, otherwise it will not get updated. If you click on OK also, it will not get updated. So make sure that amount is coming correctly, then only click on this OK button, so it will get updated below. Okay, right. Then, so this is how you have to update part number one by one along with their quantity and rate. Okay, after that, in account head, you need to select the tax heads. Okay, so in your purchase invoice, there will be a summary for tax rate, like for how many, how much IGST 12% has been applied on the on the parts, right? How many how much, IGST 28% has been applied on your part. This summary will be there in the invoice. So you just select the account head and enter the amount. You don't need to calculate it manually. Okay, see, because it will be there in your purchase invoice which you get from Okinawa. So just enter the tax percentage here, right? Now if you see, the tax percentage has been added over here. Now what you need to do, you need to save it. Okay, but before saving it, just check that your net amount is equals to your invoice amount. Okay, then just cross check if it, because it should be same, right? So this is basically your total expenses and this is amount. Okay, so it becomes your net amount. So net amount has to be same, right? It has to be same. Okay, so once you verify this thing, you just go ahead and save it, and this is done. So this is how you have to update your new SPD stock. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you guys.